Guess what, guys? Another day, another package. Alright guys, got the package. Gonna have a GoPro right here so you can get another angle. Ooh. Alright guys, so today we have something a little bit different. You can see them. They are from Ripoon, R-I-P-O-O-N, Ripoon. Bikers SG was nice enough to send me 2 of these to test out. So as you guys know, I got into an accident recently, 4 or 5 weeks back, and I realized, especially from being hit from the back, the only way was to get footage of it, to know how you were hit. Man. Instruction booklet, some mounts, and the camera itself. Wow. So this is how it looks like. The first look is actually very well built. It's not plasticky, it feels solid. Yeah, it's actually really nice. Rear camera next. Here's the dash cam user guide. The mounting systems as well. Rubber bands. It looks like carbon. Can you see this thing here? Charging point. It really feels solid. The first thing we can do is to kind of weigh the cameras. Okay, this is the front camera. Let's measure it. 115 grams. I think 115 grams is almost the same as a tube. The rear is going at 90. They're all chargeable with USB-C. This is the SD card slot. So yeah, these are the 2 cameras. Right now, I'm just going to set them up and then we will go ahead and install them on the bike. The front camera looks like that. If I pull back a bit, okay, it looks like that. Then the rear looks like that. This is how the bike looks like now. And so yeah, I think I'll come back after I'm done testing and I'll let you guys know what the verdict of this camera is. Peace! Hi guys, morning. We have the 2 bicycle dash cams on my bike now. This is the front one, back one. Today we are going to do maybe 3 or 4 hour ride. So I'll let you know if the batteries last all the way. So you can see this is the front light. Relatively bright, I would say. The back light, how bright Okay guys, we are back from testing both of the cameras. I think we can talk about footage quality. So actually, I'm really surprised that the 2 cameras are actually quite sharp. I don't think you can use the footage to make cool cinematic videos, but I think the footage is good enough for reviewing. So you can actually see what's going on around you after the ride. They record in 180p, which is technically good enough, especially if it's only just for safety and reviewing your rides, right? In low light conditions, I don't really see that much noise. There's no image stabilization, but I think the vibrations are not so bad, just that I wouldn't recommend shooting them on 30 frames though, because I've tested them and the 30 frames are even more shaky. When you freeze frame to try and look for number plates, they actually turn out blur because of the motion blur. Daytime, no issue. Low light, just make sure it's on 60 frames per second. Actually, these lights are way brighter than the ones that I used to use. The 2 cameras, they actually last according to the instruction manual. So the first ride I did with the cameras was like a 4 to 5 hours kind of ride. I left the camera on and it lasted around 5 hours. Around 4 to 5 hours, it switched off. The back lasted longer, maybe up to 6 hours. So for the second ride, I used both these lights on blinking mode, so the lights were strobing. The front camera could last 6 hours hours or more, and the rear camera could last longer than 6 hours. So both rides were around the same distance, around the same timing that I was out, except for ride 2 I decided to switch it off when I'm stationary. For both cameras, I'm using a 64 gig card. From the 4 to 6 hour rides of leaving them on, I got around like 17 to 20 gigs of footage. I guess it would record almost close to 3 days of 5-hour rides for you. If the card is full, it will rewrite over the older footage. And the two cameras have this function called the SOS mode. When there's a heavy impact and you fall or something, they will save that particular clip in another folder that won't be overwritten. They have a lot of modes, but at the same time, there's no indicators or sound prompts to tell you what mode you are in. So every time you turn off the camera, it resets, and then when you turn it on, it starts from mode 1. So for the front, you have to cycle between 4 modes. Same for the back. The back has 3 modes, so you have to press the button 3 times to cycle between the 3 modes. After like 3 or 4 rides, you tend to remember what the modes are. The second small thing is that you have to plug it into the computer to change some of the settings. There's not much, only your date and timestamp and whether you want to shoot it in 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second. So yeah, those are the 2 small things about the settings and the modes. Next, let's talk about the size of the camera. So the back camera works fine because it fits well like that on your seat post. Okay, however, for the front, I'm using it with a GoPro mount. For this, it comes with like a mount that holds the camera there, which I can show you some footage that I took, which I find is quite slow when you want to remove it to charge. And I wish that the front light was positioned horizontally like that. The mount that I use has to be mounted this way. But I don't think it's anything hard to fix. They just need to release a new mounting system, right? Yeah, that's pretty much all the things that I like and dislike about this camera. In general, I think for the price, this is a very good camera in that sense. So if you are thinking about getting these cameras, on TikTok, it's $210 for the rear and $230 for the front. They are both on 15% off now. If you buy them on my TikTok shop, of course I get a little bit of perks, right? But it's okay, whichever way is more convenient for you. Thanks Bikers SG for sending me these 2 cameras to test. Hope you enjoyed this video, man. Chiki chiki chiki.